spicy tension, dangerous games set up by the Fae, why choose with hot alphas, and a sarcastic, feisty FMC. What am I talking about? Psycho Fae by Jasmine Mas. If you cannot already tell, I am a huge fan of Jasmine Mas. I just love the way she writes. I enjoy the dark sense of humor she has, and all of her characters, for me, just have layers upon layers in her story. So if you were somebody who did enjoy the Blood of Hercules series, I'm going to tell you, if you have not dived into this series yet, book 1 is Psycho Shifters. If you have not dived into this series yet, then you for sure need to hop into this one, because I think you will love it. So now let's go ahead and talk about book 2, which is Psycho Fae. I did listen to this book as an audiobook, and I have to say it did not disappoint. It has multiple narrators, and I have to say, when they are done in a duet style with multiple narrators, it just raises the story to a whole new level. And that is exactly what happens in this book. On top of the fact that you have Jasmine Mas's writing, where she writes all of her characters with so much personality and so much depth, and I feel like her stories are layered with so many layers and depth, and just even the stories are full of personality. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's just one of the reasons I enjoy it. I find myself like going, oh my gosh, you should not be laughing at this. This is a serious time. Just shh, focus. But it'll be like a really situation. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not that funny. This is kind of like, this is a darker situation, but the humor is darker humor. So if you were somebody who's kind of like on the fence, just know that there is a little bit of a darker sense of humor in this, and a lot of sarcasm. So just make sure you understand sarcasm and a darker sense of humor, because I do have to say, Jasmine Mas does write with darker sense of humor, and she does incorporate a ton of sarcasm into her writing. And for me, that's something I absolutely love, but that's just me. There will be a paperback version released with a beautiful sprayed edge, just like on book 1, but you know me, I am an immersive reader, so if I can get my hands on a beautiful sprayed edge version as well as a audiobook version, I am going to do it. Now, we already talked about how the fact that I feel like Jasmine Mas writes with all her characters full of personality and depth, and I feel like in this book, we really get to know our male main characters so much more, our male alphas, because we really get to see the situations and the way they are put in. And I'm going to be honest with you, as male alphas, you know that they are not always going to want to share, and they kind of have that, oh, this is mine situation. But I'm going to tell you, there's only one female FMC, and it is Sadie. Sadie is feisty and fun and completely crazy, and she's not what you expect. This is not going to be one of your stories where the FMC is here to save the day, and it's not one of those stories where she has no issues and she's perfection and there's nothing wrong with her. That is not how Jasmine Mas writes. Her FMCs do have flaws, and Sadie sure does too, as well as her male main characters. I mean, I feel like that's something she does point out in all her books. Her MMCs also have flaws as well, and I feel like she does highlight them. Now, she does make sure that they mesh and complement each other, but I feel like that is something she does pick up. She's like, ooh, my characters are not utter perfection. So you heard me say that there's dangerous games set up by the Fae, and that does mean that this book is full of action and excitement and all kinds of other stuff going on, and it does introduce some more characters and more intimate situations into the book, and there's going to be some discoveries that are even let on and kind of new things introduced into the book that we kind of did not know from book 1 as well. And I'm going to say the ending of the book also does kind of give you a shocker, kind of like, woo, out of nowhere. Now, the time frame that's happening in the book is set up during the time frame of the games that is set up by the Fae. So it is never really lagging, in my opinion. I felt like the book moved at a really nice pace. And so I just stayed interested and pulled in the whole time. And like I said, I was all for the spicy tension. That is one of my favorite things. We know that I am a sucker for spice in a book. I love me some spice. But I almost get more enjoyment sometimes out of spicy tension and the buildup as just as much as of like, I would rather that almost more than just a bunch of spice. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me. I love that spicy tension. I love all of that building up. And that is definitely something we are getting in this book. See, if the spicy tension is still burning, you know that the romance also is not set in stone. So obviously the romance is still slow burning, and a lot is developing in that situation as well. And it is definitely a why choose. And we just have more adding and adding. I'm not going to try to give a whole lot away, but the why choose is just getting more complicated as the book is going on. I'm going to leave it at that because, like I said, I do not like to give a whole lot away in spoilers. So I feel like I'm going on Yapperville and just talking about how much I love this book, but I think I've given you an overview on how it goes. It moves at a quick pace. We have some spice, but not more spicy tension than actual spice. We know about the shifters. We know about the alphas. We know about the FMC. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick overview on what is going to happen in this book without trying to give away too much. Sadie, Jax, and Cobra are dealing with the fallout of what Asher did. And part of the consequences of what Asher did is now having to participate in the Fae Games. Only the Fae Games is really dangerous, and it is very hard to survive. Asher wants to earn back Sadie's forgiveness, and Cobra and Jax want to make her theirs. And secrets just keep coming out as they struggle to stay alive. I love this book. I love this series. As you heard me say before, I am a sucker for Jasmine Mas. So if you were a sucker for shifters and a little bit of a darker romantasy, and you love some alphas and why choose in there, then I suggest you pick this one up because I love this one and I think you just might too.